Welcome to On Thick Ice, a podcast about navigating relationship intricacies by two people who are just trying to make one work. I'm Emily.
And I'm John. Each week, we'll be tackling the pressing issues we all face in our relationships but rarely address head on.
All right, so just our luck that Valentine's Day falls on a Tuesday this year. That happens to be the day that we put out our episodes, so why not do a little Valentine's Day special?
I was about to say, what's lucky about that? I don't...
It's a Valentine's Day special.
Got it. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
it's perfect.
Thank you for coming to my special.
Oh my gosh. February 14th is the most romantic day of the year. It's a day where friends become lovers, lovers shower each other with gifts, couples unite in marriage, and skeptics and lonely single people count down the minutes until all the leftover chocolate is 75% off at Walgreens.
They do that?
Yeah.
Damn, I've been getting ripped off.
That's the best day. Although it's not even like a thing anymore because I feel like they put out seasonal candy so early that they're already out of it by the time the holiday comes around.
No, it's just the shit that nobody wants.
Yeah, right.
That's what it boils down to.
It used to be good. You used to be able to get like a bag of like Reese's Hearts for like pennies on the dollar. Can't do that shit anymore.
That never happened to me.
Inflation is a bitch, man. But anyway, back to what's really important.
Reese's Hearts, everybody.
Reese's Hearts. We're going to discuss them more than once.
The meaning of Valentine's Day.
Yes. What is the actual history behind Valentine's Day? Why do we put so much romantic pressure on this one holiday? And what are our best and worst Valentine's Day memories? Let's talk about it. You probably don't have any best or worst. I do, though.
That was my memories right there. That awkward blank.
Okay, so I thought I'd give you a quick history of Valentine's Day.
All right.
Because
I feel like...
you didn't go to school.
Like most everything else, it has a very dark and barbaric history.
It kind of does, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't think there is a thing that doesn't.
All right, so you know of Saint Valentine. That's why it's called Saint Valentine's Day.
Yeah, well, I don't, but
okay.
Sure.
Okay, anyway, Saint Valentine. He was a priest in 3rd century Rome. Which you think back to our wedding episode, a lot of this shit comes from ancient Rome. He conducted marriage ceremonies in secret against the law of Emperor Claudius II, who thought that men would make better soldiers if they were single. So yeah, he kept them... He wanted all the men to be single because he thought they'd be better soldiers if they didn't have women waiting for him back home.
Okay, hold on. Wait, I had a Game of Thrones moment there.
Okay.
I missed everything you just said.
Okay.
There were too many words.
Too many different words coming at me from too many different sentences?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the second grade version.
Okay. Emperor of Rome.
Yes.
Thought that men would be better soldiers if they didn't have wives.
All right.
So he banned marriage ceremonies.
Got it.
Saint Valentine performed marriage ceremonies anyway.
Okay.
Emperor finds out, Valentine gets killed.
Got it.
There's your TLDR.
That was way better. I like that. I'd watch that movie.
So that's what it's named after. Why February? Why do we celebrate Valentine's Day in February? Some people say that was the month that Saint Valentine was martyred / murdered when he became a martyr. It's all this stuff is so silly. It's also speculated that Christians chose February to overshadow a pagan festival where they sacrificed goats and dogs to make women more fertile. So that makes sense, I guess.
I mean, I'm not against the idea.
It all boils down to fertility. It's everything. It's just fertility, man. How do you get the babies born?
So, if I'm hearing this correctly, pagans were doing it right.
Yes.
Christians saw what they were doing, but needed to give the second grade version to the customers to consume.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
So we still kill, sacrifice things for fertility. We just give you a different shaped heart now.
Yes.
Because it is now cute.
Yes.
And it's not this piece of meat.
Yes. Exactly.
Got it. Okay. I still love Valentine's Day. This is great. And
it's dark.
Christians. Wow. Good job. Marketing.
If there's one thing Christians are good at, it's fucking marketing, bro.
Hurrah. I am going to the next church when I need marketing advice.
Yes. So February 14th was declared Saint Valentine's Day by Pope Jill. Is that a nope? That's just dust on my
So
screen.
wait, before we move on,
Okay.
let's talk about this Saint Valentine.
Yeah.
All right. So he was basically like Kiss in his day, right? He was going against authority.
I guess. Is that what Kiss did?
Kiss was like the Satan worshippers of like.
I thought that was Ozzy Osbourne.
Well, they were all together.
Okay.
They were like hanging out at the same clubs and shit.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Costco.
So Saint Valentine is a dark metal hair band from the 80s.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, yeah. He was like protesting the system.
Raging Against the Machine.
Yeah, right, right. So after the death of Saint Valentine, like what provoked the outrage, the need to mourn this person's death and the shift in the mindset?
I don't know. I think probably because like Christians and Catholics and the people, I mean Catholics because he's a saint, they probably want people to get married and have kids because that's like God's purpose. So he became a martyr because he was going against the emperor who wanted everybody to stay single for war.
So at that time, it was so we haven't ventured into the pagan side of things yet, right?
No.
This is just a protest against the emperor.
Yes.
Purely that.
Yes.
Okay. How did this single protest against an emperor, which I'm sure happens all over the fucking place all the time, how did this become a fucking holiday?
Because he becomes a saint. Because after his death,
this was his sainthood.
Yeah.
This was his third, I guess.
Yes. This is like he becomes a saint, so he gets a day to be celebrated.
Or is he like the ultimate sacrifice because he was killed for the sacrifice he made?
Yeah, he was martyred. That's what. Yeah.
Okay.
He just becomes a saint and then gets a day to celebrate. And then I'll tell you how it evolves into what Valentine's Day is now.
Right. I was just very interested in that story because I'm still not exactly clear. Like, I get he gets his sainthood, but who backed him?
I have no idea.
The other saints?
I think it's like I don't know. Does the Pope decide? I don't go to church, bro. I don't know.
Was it Jesus?
It might have been Jesus.
Oh my goodness.
It might have been Jesus.
Man.
So anyway, February 14th was declared St. Valentine's Day by Pope Gelatin someone in the 5th century. So, like 200 years later. So that does that answer your question? The Pope decided, I guess, to give him his holiday?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I just like wonder like what scripture he was reading that reminded him of this event 200 years later.
The Bible, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't there.
No, I know. I know you don't know. I'm just asking. We need a fact checker.
We do. Olive.
We need
a fact checker.
We need this.
He's like, okay, Ma, I come fact check.
No. He just read the pamphlet for my my blood pressure medicine.
Yes.
He's ready to explain shit.
Anyway, so
we got to keep the heart healthy for Valentine's Day. Come on,
you're right.
Heart
you're
Awareness
right.
Month. It's probably not, but
no, it is.
Oh, it is. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. There you go. Keep your heart healthy. Check your blood pressure. Woo.
So how do we get from that pagan festivals being overshadowed to
Blood pressure?
Valentine's Day cards? Yeah, John, let it go.
Okay.
So the lore, the story is that before he was Saint Valentine, when he was just Valentine,
Okay.
when he was in jail before he was killed, he was said to have written letters to his lover from jail, signed "Your Valentine." There's not like a fact checker for that, but that's the story.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm not going to question it. We're good.
And in the 14th century, love letters called Valentines became popular based on that story. So, like, now you're like 1,000 years later, people are like, oh, this dude would write from your Valentine. Then you associate it with love letters. And that's the big thing that connects Valentine with romance. Because there was the marriage ceremony part. That's like romantic, but that was more practical, probably. Because it was like, get people married to
that was the more obvious thing for me. I wouldn't have picked up on that very simple.
Well, love letters, you know?
Yeah.
That's where that comes from. And then we get into the commercialization of Valentine's Day,
Yes.
how it becomes a holiday that people care about.
Christians.
No, not really. Kind of, a little bit. It's built on the backs of greeting cards and chocolate.
Big chocolate.
I just got scared that I wasn't recording for a second.
Ah, I would have been really upset with that.
I would too. So it was big chocolate basically. So we're in the 17th century. Flowers for Valentine's Day date back to the 17th century. King Charles
All right, hold on. Flowers for Valentine's Day.
giving flowers for Valentine's Day, like
That's
giving
17th century.
Yeah.
Okay, now
giving gifts.
I think I missed something with this love letter thing.
Okay.
So what? Okay, so what provoked that? What is that about? The love letters thing. Love letters for Valentine. Is that just when they started?
So there's the story,
Yeah.
him signing your Valentine, and then
Yeah.
in the 14th century, people started calling love letters Valentines.
Okay. Got
Because of
it.
that.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So that's why you get a Valentine's card. This is you're my Valentine.
And
kind of
that
thing.
wasn't was that associated with the date at that time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, so the letters started 14th century.
Mhm.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then 17th century.
Is when people start giving flowers
Got it.
for Valentine's Day.
Mhm. Is there anything behind that? Like,
Yes. It comes from King Charles II. He learned about the language of flowers on a trip to Persia, which is where certain colors, flower colors, and petals are associated with different things.
Mhm.
And he came back giving red roses to his wife or lover or whoever on Valentine's Day because red roses symbolize romance. So that's where that gets started.
okay.
And it picks up in the Victorian era where more people are giving red roses as a symbol of romance. It like takes off more in the Victorian era, but he's the one that starts it. Yeah, there's your red roses. Fact.
All right.
Cards. Like Valentine's card, not a love letter like we were talking about before, but a physical card.
Yes. What we know today as a card.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This comes from 1840s in America. Esther Howland became the mother of Valentine's when she started selling cards that were decorated with lace and ribbons. So people would go to her to get their fancy cards to give for Valentine's. Then Cadbury creates the first heart-shaped chocolate box in the 1860s. And then comes Hershey Kisses in 1907. They weren't invented for Valentine's Day, but they became synonymous with the holiday because of the name, Kisses. Yeah. And it took them, this blew my mind, it took them 80 years to capitalize on that. They didn't start putting Hershey Kisses in red and pink foil for Valentine's Day until 1986. Like, come on, bro. You got a candy called Hershey Kisses.
Man, they should have got with the Christians.
Right. So Hallmark starts selling Valentine's Day cards in 1913. They become the hallmark of greeting cards.
Yes.
And then the big push on Valentine's Day is like an actual day that we celebrate, that we acknowledge, that we buy candy and shit for, was TV. Once the holiday started to become the subject of sitcoms and shit like that, Hallmark began advertising Valentine's Day cards, and it becomes the big money-making holiday that it is. So they start talking about Valentine's Day on TV, Hallmark starts advertising Valentine's Day cards, and then boom, we've got flapping the mic. Yes. So there you go. There's your history lesson on Valentine's Day. Do you feel like you are smarter now?
I do, but I'm going to wait for the movie.
We saw the movie. Taylor Swift is in it. It's called Valentine's Day. So I found it interesting because it's like it's just interesting to me, how do holidays become holidays? So I wanted to get into that.
Oh, I like that shit too.
It's not
cool.
Particularly funny, but I wanted to talk about it. Now that the history lesson is out of the way, what are our general thoughts about Valentine's Day? Like, are you pro Valentine's Day, anti Valentine's Day, indifferent? Where do you stand?
I'm gonna take my my Switzerland stance here,
Neutral?
like I normally do. But the reason my personal stance is different from what I think people need.
Okay.
Because I don't think everybody and I've said this before, I don't think everybody has that natural ability to know how to, do that.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily know how to, make special time for these events,
Mhm.
so or for this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So it's a nice reminder, I think.
Mhm.
But I think for us, I think we acknowledge it.
Mhm.
We we respect it for what it is, but we don't necessarily follow the norm, and I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I am
And I really like Reese Hearts. So that is,
good stuff.
yeah,
Well,
that
I'm telling you, I have a section on
I
Reese's
I
Hearts.
know, I know. I'm just saying, like that makes the season good for me.
Yes.
I don't need to go out and do fancy things. I don't need red roses,
Right.
and I just need the hearts,
Yeah.
and I
Just
need
give
them.
me the fucking candy.
I need them before,
Yeah.
like as soon as they hit the shelves.
Mhm.
Like that's when
December 26th.
that. This is why I
Reese's
don't
Hearts.
know there's clearance deals, because I'm over it by the time that happens.
Okay, fair. I
I'll
think
set up a tent.
I am pro slash indifferent towards Valentine's Day. I love the idea of having a day for love,
Yeah.
day for like romance, family, friendship, whatever. I never got depressed when I was single on Valentine's Day because it was always like beyond romantic love to me. It's like all kinds of love. So I just like that. And I love love. So I appreciate having a day dedicated to romance and like, all that kind of stuff. Um as for the context of our relationship, I'm indifferent towards Valentine's Day. Like I don't put weight on it. I don't have expectations. And it's not because I'm trying to be a cool girl. I was really thinking about this in context of us because I used to really be like, you better ask me to be your Valentine, even though we've been dating for 3 years and like I wanted to do stuff, like I did really care about it before. And I was like, why is it that I don't care now? Beyond just like,
It's because I ruined you.
we show our love all the time. No, it honestly, it's a calendar thing for me at this point. Think of the back end of our year. September, it's your birthday. October, it's our wedding anniversary. Then it's the holidays. Then it's my birthday. Then it's New Year's. And then, we had our dating anniversary in March and Valentine's Day. By the time Valentine's Day comes around, I'm sick of it. I'm done. We've done enough celebrating. We've done enough hanging out. I need a break from you at that point. I maybe if like our anniversary birthdays were sprinkled more throughout the year, I might feel different about Valentine's Day. But it's just like back to back to back to back. Like by the time February rolls around, like I am celebrated out.
Yeah, I mean that's not for me. Like the reason that I don't necessarily follow the norm, I think, is I hate feeling like I have to do something
Mhm.
because other people are doing it.
Right.
I hate that so much. I hate oh, what are you going to do with your wife for Valentine's
Mhm.
Day? Like nothing. Like
Yeah.
I have no desire to try to get reservations months and months ahead of time.
Well, that's the other thing that I was thinking. I used to be a server.
Yeah.
So like I worked Valentine's Day.
Right.
So it was never a thing
Right,
for us.
right. Yeah. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be that person that's like I hate the what do the people call this the I don't even know.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
The commercialism.
Okay.
I don't like the commercialism.
Mhm.
But I don't want to be that person that hates Valentine's Day because I think the concept is cool.
Yeah.
I don't like the pressure
Yeah.
that is implied with it.
Yeah.
I think that best sums it up.
Yeah.
I don't like that aspect of it.
No, I agree. I agree. And on the flip side, like pressure as the, all heteronormative, the man to do something for the woman, that's one thing. And then for me, it's like pressure as the woman to have the expectations. So it's like, oh, what did you get for Valentine's Day? Nothing. Oh, really? Why? He must not love you. Like, no, I just didn't want anything. Like, what the Yeah. It's like, it's annoying.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the other part of that is, you and I are just spoiled as fuck.
Yeah.
We just do what we want when we want.
Mhm.
That's the price you pay for not having children.
Woo, woo.
Thank God. So yeah, we don't. There's not really a lot left, and we kind of like Valentine's Day like all year kind of deal.
Yeah, we
So-
Valentine's all year.
Yeah, and Christmas, and we don't New Year's all year because
No.
we don't like New Year's.
No, we don't like New Year's. New Year's
No.
is depressing.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're on the same page, if not for slightly different reasons.
Yes.
But that's good. I do want to watch Valentine's Day this year. We didn't watch it last year on Valentine's Day.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either. It was probably my fault.
I think I wanted to watch it. And you were like, nah, man.
Probably.
I got to take a nap.
So I have a question.
What?
Seeing as we just learned earlier about like the commercialization of Valentine's Day really coming in the 80s, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you were a kid, way back in the 80s, way back, all that long time ago.
Yeah, I was in kindergarten in like 87, right?
Was handing out Valentines at school a thing?
Yes.
You did the parties?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we did the little cards.
I loved that.
Yeah, we did that.
That was so great. I honestly, I wanted to know. I didn't know when that started, but that was like my favorite thing. And I would get.
I feel like that had to start before the 80s. Like the giving out like the little Valentines, like.
Well, yeah, that's why I didn't know, because I didn't know if it like.
Because that was
if
like.
it blew up when like Valentine's Day blew up, or if that was like a thing before.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I can only speak to what I know.
Yeah.
And that's when I was in school, and I remember this as a thing.
Yeah.
And it seemed very common.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like year one where you have like little things written on napkins. Like,
right. Yeah.
The packaging was already established. You know,
the little perforated.
Yeah. You rip them apart. You know, it was already set up.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that was earlier.
And did you have little treats with yours sometimes? Like sometimes someone's would come with like a sticker or like a lollipop or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you get little treats.
I loved that so much.
A little sucker, like the little hole through the card.
Yeah, exactly. That was Valentine's Day was my favorite holiday at school. Like, because it's just for no reason in the middle of winter you get to just like get candy. Like that's so awesome. And I loved, like I would personalize all my Valentines. Like, you know, some people would just like put, you know, just hand them out randomly. Like I would decide who was getting which one. Like Jimmy's getting this one and Elizabeth's getting this one, and you know, whatever. And then if I didn't get the ones with candy, like I would get other candy and like tape it to it, because I didn't want to be the one who didn't put candy on their Valentines. Like it was just so much fun. And you would like, did you make mailboxes to put on your desk?
I think so, yeah.
And you would like walk around and put.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that so much.
Yeah. I think we did that. Yeah.
That was like the best part of elementary school for me. And then you go to middle school and you don't do it anymore. Like that, I still did it. I didn't do it in class, but I made Valentine. I did it all through high school. People got Valentines. I would hand them out to anybody who asked. I loved it. It was just like so much fun. And I even did it when I worked in restaurants. I would make Valentines for. What are you doing?
I felt something. I wanted to make sure I wasn't crushing your foot.
Oh no. I would make Valentines for my coworkers, and then of course bring candy to drop off with the checks so that I could get bigger tips. It's just so much fun. I love that.
Yeah, and even back then, I remember it just being so much pressure. Seriously.
Well, you got to pick your cards out. Like you got to get the cool cards.
Well, we were also poor, so.
Well, so was I. Yeah.
We had to like. I had to like figure out how to make things look better.
Yeah.
Than they actually were. So.
You'd end up with the dollar store ones.
Yeah.
I know that feeling well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's why I carried it with me for so long, because I could finally afford the good ones when I was older.
Right. Yeah. I let that go. You know.
No, it's certain childhood traumas I can't let go. I was gonna ask you, but I feel like I already know the answer. Do you have a best or worst Valentine's Day memory?
No.
Nothing?
Nope.
Not a thing?
Nope.
Did you ever celebrate it, or is it just specific to me that you don't?
No, I've never really put a lot of stake in it. I mean, maybe when I was younger in earlier relationships, probably, and that was more so just to fit the mold,
right?
And that was purely it. Just so I wouldn't get yelled at for not doing anything.
Right.
And I like doing things like that. But again, I don't like the extra pressure of trying to battle a beret of others who are doing the same thing. And just the waits and the shitty people. And it ruins it. It like, you try to, everybody goes out and tries to do this thing that they're supposed to do. And deep down inside, it's going to be miserable. People are going to be pissed. They got to wait. They're not getting the best service.
It's the two worst days in a restaurant is Valentine's Day and Mother's Day.
Right.
It's the 2 days of a year that the people who don't go out the rest of the year go out. because they
Yes.
feel like they're supposed to.
Right.
It's awful.
It
It's the
is.
worst.
It's just so bad. And that's the other reason I don't like being influenced by
Mhm.
my surroundings to a certain degree.
Right.
And that overbearing presence
Mhm.
of a single a single directive, if you
Yeah.
will. It's like there aren't birthday parties, there
Yep.
aren't anniversaries. There's nothing there
Mhm.
except assholes trying to feed somebody that they probably don't want to feed.
Yes. Story of my life. Um, well, I have a best and a worst Valentine's Day memory.
Okay.
So my best one, it was so cute, and I loved it. When I was 17,
Hmm.
and my boyfriend took me to PF Chang's, the one in Valley Square on Street Road. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
Okay.
I do. Yep.
So we went to
It's
PF.
been a long time.
I
You
know.
gotta give me that.
We went to that PF Chang's, and we went at like 4 o'clock because that's when his mom made a reservation for because it was Valentine's Day. But I was so excited. It was like my first Valentine's Day with a boyfriend, so I like wore a little dress and he wore like a button-up shirt and like we probably looked really stupid because we were just like a couple of kids like thinking we're being fancy at PF Chang's at 4 in the afternoon.
Right.
But we're sitting there and we're, doing our thing, having our little date, and this woman who is probably like my age, like probably like in her 20s, like late 20s now, comes up to us and she was like, I just want to let you guys know that you are the cutest thing that me and my boyfriend have ever seen, and here you go, have a great day. And she gave us $100 to pay for our meal. That's so cute. I was like at the moment I was like, oh my gosh, that's so nice. Like someone like was just like, oh, here's some money. But like looking back on it, it's like someone looked at two dorky ass little kids and decided not to be an asshole about it. Like we must have looked like such idiots. But she was like, you know what? That's cute. And I love that lady for that. I will never forget her.
Yeah, I never had nothing like that happen.
No,
Nope.
never.
Nope.
Every time him and I would go to that PF Chang's, we would get something for free. Like we would get a free appetizer or a free dessert or $100. Like we went there like 3 or 4 times throughout our relationship, and every single time something good happened.
Nice.
Yes. The worst one, it was my fault. But this was same boyfriend, but when we were 19, and I made a beautiful dinner at my house, but I didn't cook very much back then, so I didn't think a lot. The dinner, it was a pan that goes in the oven and then comes out of the oven. So I took it out of the oven and I put it on the stovetop, and then I walked away, and then I came back and I grabbed it, and it was so fucking hot. And I ended up with like severe painful burns on my hand, and it was so bad that I couldn't sleep or write in school for like days. I didn't go to the hospital. I probably should have. My skin was like peeling off for weeks. It was awful. It was the worst burn feeling that has ever happened to me in my
Oh.
life. It was
Yeah,
so bad.
that sucks when that happens.
Yes. Yes, it was so bad. But I figured that you probably wouldn't have any bad memories or anything. So I thought, let's supplement that with some bad Valentine's Day gifts from the internet.
Fair enough. And I'm not a prude, by the way. I don't lock on to things like that. I just don't.
I know. I didn't say you were a prude. That's how you are.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite color? No. I don't even think you're real half the time. You're an enigma. You're a figment of my imagination, I think. Okay. Bad gifts. Some of them are funny. This feels like something that you would give to me.
Okay.
I got a t-shirt with a picture of my boyfriend on the front of it, and on the back, a poem detailing how awesome and sweet he was.
Yeah. Respect.
My first boyfriend in high school gave me a shoebox, not wrapped or anything, just an old shoebox, filled with latex condoms and lube. I'm allergic to latex, and I opened it in front of my parents.
Wait, when was this?
First boyfriend in high school.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going to go well.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
It's just got a gif of Justin Timberlake doing dick in a box.
Yep.
My boyfriend drew me pictures of people having sex in different positions. It was awkward.
All right. Actually, before we move on, I think that brings up a good point.
Okay.
I think that there's probably a good possibility that boys,
Mm-hmm.
have a different perspective of Valentine's Day.
Okay.
We all probably think we're going to get laid,
Yes.
and that's it.
Probably.
And whatever it is we're doing to
It's
get
just
to
to
that
get laid.
is that is the focal point. That is the goal. We don't care about the dinner.
Yeah.
We don't care about the drinks.
Nope.
No, we care about the end.
Yep.
So I think that could. I wonder if you ask other, men that were boys or still are boys. I don't know. If they remember, if they have like a good or worse, and I would bet that it would be related to
Whether or
if
not
it
they had
ended well.
sex.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that leads me into my next one. All I got was an e-card that said, "Just remember, this Valentine's Day, blowjobs are like flowers for men." And then he showed up 2 hours late for our date.
Hmm.
uh, I got a teddy bear that said, "Who's your daddy?"
Jeez. That's
See.
not weird. Like that's not something you can buy off the shelf. I don't think.
No.
I just have to assume that Build-A-Bear would not do that.
uh, Build-A-Bear's got like a Build-A-Bear After Dark thing going on right now.
Huh?
Yeah, I've seen like sexy Build-A-Bears.
What?
Yeah, I'll show you. I don't know. I don't know if it's actually called Build-A-Bear After Dark, but it's like sexy Build-A-Bear or something.
St. Valentine's Christian bears.
Yeah, Build-A-Bear After Dark offers sexy stuffed animals for adults. And here's a lion in a Hugh Hefner robe.
All right.
I mean, sure, why not? My ex got me a package of medjool date, I guess like the fruit dates, with a note that read, "Here's some dates because you won't be able to get any from anyone else." That's mean.
Oh, wow.
That's so mean.
Holy shit.
Here's a good one. My ex-boyfriend gave me a card with weird stick figure drawings of two people at arm's length doing the awkward middle school dance. Like
Yep.
the zombie dance.
I remember this.
Above the figures were our names with little arrows pointing to our respective figures, saying, "Sydney and Alex equals great friends." That's her boyfriend. Said, "This fool friend zones me after we've been dating for like 4 months, ... on Valentine's Day."
I guess things weren't going well.
My ex got me frozen flowers he stole from a local cemetery. That's so fucked up.
So I thought the flowers were delivered personally.
No.
So that makes them even more dark. It's that they're frozen. They're not only dead, but they're frozen dead flowers.
My gosh. Oh, geez. My now ex picked me up in a limo, took me to the fanciest hotel in town, wined and dined me all Valentine's Day weekend. When he brought me back home via limo, he says to me, "Oh, your half costs $450. You can write me a check."
That was like after the kiss, or
This is when they got home after the weekend.
they lived.
It said they went away for the weekend together. He wined and picked me up in a limo, took me to the fanciest hotel in town,
Okay, so
wined and
they
dined
didn't-
me all Valentine's Day
They
weekend.
didn't live together, so he was dropping her off, and this was
he
like
drops her off in the
this was-
limo.
this was the goodbye.
Yes.
That's so fucked up. Like, you could have at least waited, like send her a bill,
Send her a Venmo request. Jesus
Right?
Christ.
right? Like your half winky emoji. Try to soften it a little bit, you know.
God.
And if you're really feeling risky, throw an eggplant in there.
This would be me if I was the boyfriend. I didn't get anything because my ex-boyfriend's birthday was on Valentine's Day. He said that it was his day. I agree. I'm on his side. It's his day. It's not his fault that he was born on Valentine's Day.
That's a tough one. That's
I'm just saying.
That's tough.
I have a personal my birthday's very close to Christmas, so I have very personal, intense feelings about birthday holidays. That is his day. You can take February 16th. I do not care.
I mean, I'd be on board with that thought. I mean,
Yeah.
I would. Well, actually, I would really hate that idea because you're not going to do anything on that day for either of the holidays.
Right.
Because everybody else is.
Yeah.
It's like having a birthday on Christmas.
Everything's closed except the movie theater.
And you would get everything in Christmas wrap.
Yes. Well, you get that anyway when your birthday's 4 days after Christmas.
I'm just saying, just proximity, yes.
Okay. This last one is my favorite. I got a 24 pack of instant oatmeal. I want to know if he put thought into that or if he just grabbed the first thing he found in his pantry. Which one is worse?
Well, I mean, that might be her thing, like every day. That might be her jam.
You're right.
But I mean, I agree that's still a weird thing, but there has to be a reason that he decided that was a good thing to give.
That's what I'm saying. It just might have been the first thing he saw.
Might have been like the sweater out of the closet kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Merry Christmas.
Did it come in the box or did he hand her 24 individual instant oatmeal packs?
Right. Yeah, he got them bitches from work.
I don't want to put anybody out.
He forgot. He was on his way home. He was like, oh, shit, what am I going to get her? Oh, she like oatmeal. Let me do this.
I don't want to put anybody out, but if you're making oatmeal, I'll take a maple brown sugar and an apple cinnamon in the same bowl with whole milk. Thanks.
Yes.
My second office reference of the day.
The second motorcycle. The first one was very quiet.
Yeah.
I still heard it, though.
Yeah. All right, now let's get to the thing that I feel like you've been dying to talk about this whole time.
Okay.
What is your favorite Valentine's Day candy?
Oh, I mean, no question. The little things that have the wrapper, and then they have a surprise inside, and
what?
It's fucking Reese's. Of course, it's fucking Reese's. But it has to be the seasonal ones. The seasonal ones are the most important.
Yes.
They have the best
chocolate to peanut butter ratio.
Yes. And there's just like there's no barrier to entry. Like the
paper.
The normal the paper's one thing, but you got to think about the structure, right? The seasonal ones are just they just flow, right? The ones in the crispy wrappers, those have structure.
Yeah.
Like
they got like a crunch to them.
They give a different feeling. Like
they do.
when you're eating them.
They have a crunch.
And
the chocolate edge gives it a crunch.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like velvety.
They hit so hard.
Yeah.
The seasonal Reese's.
I think I got to give it to the eggs, but
yes, my favorite Valentine's specific candy, Reese's is my second.
Okay.
There's a reason. I love candy hearts. I love the little conversation hearts.
Okay.
Things. Not the sour ones. The sour ones are disgusting. But like the regular, original, kind of chalky candy hearts, I love those. And the mint ones, the white mint ones, are the elite. They make the whole bag taste slightly minty. They're just so good. And you can no other holiday.
Let's separate this.
No. Why? Because you're going to make fun of me?
No, I'm not going to make fun of you. But you cannot even put these two in the same category.
What?
You are craving a nostalgic feeling with these hearts. It is not the taste and the quality of the deliverable. So you have to break these things down.
I'm getting into it.
Okay, sorry.
It's Valentine specific because no other holiday has a candy like candy hearts.
Why didn't you say that faster?
I was in the middle of saying it and you fucking interrupted me. I was mid fucking sentence. But anyway, no other holiday like
she's not getting candy hearts for Valentine's
You got
Day.
Reese's, seasonal Hershey Kisses get their different flavors and colors, M&Ms. Every other candy has a seasonal, if not shape, flavor wrapper, okay? You can't, there's no Christmas hearts. There's no Easter conversation hearts, right? It doesn't happen. So that's why it's specific to Valentine's Day.
TM.
TM. Runner up is the Reese's Hearts. And the only reason it's not my favorite is because of that specificity of Valentine's Day. That's the only time that you can get that specific type of candy.
That makes sense.
The heart-shaped Reese's are the best in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yes. I think the egg is the second best. The heart-shape just barely skirts out the egg, and I'll tell you why. It's because of the V. It's because of the heart.
Extra chocolate.
That little bit of extra chocolate.
Yep.
Sends it over the edge.
I like the peanut butter.
Like,
I knew that was going to be your reason.
That's exactly why. Because you got the pumpkin. Pumpkin's good. It's got the little stem, right? You know, whatever. But there's no nooks and crannies in the pumpkin. The trees is a little too much nooks and crannies. There's a little too many because it's got all the things. And sometimes you get the trees that don't actually look like a tree. It's just like nothing. And that's not
just
good
like
either.
An egg with a stump.
Exactly. The egg, perfect. A perfect specimen of candy. But that little indent of the heart, that little imperfection, chef's kiss. Boom, roasted, mic drop. We should have a poll.
Stripper pole?
We need to get what's the best seasonal
yeah.
Reese's.
Which one wins? Yes.
Yeah.
That had to have happened. There has to be a.
I'm sure it exists somewhere out
yeah.
there. I'm just saying, like, for my people, I want to know.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. You know what really pisses me off about these seasonal Reese's?
What?
Those new Christmas lights. They just stole from the eggs.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. The worst Reese's. The worst ones are the it's not the mini wrapper ones. Not those ones. Those aren't great because sometimes the peanut butter is too dry and there's too much chocolate on those. But there's ones that I feel like they sometimes come out around Easter where they're like egg, but they're not the egg. But they're like small and like almost like football shaped. And the peanut butter is like super smooth for some reason. Those are the worst ones.
Are those Reese's?
Yes.
Or are those a different?
No, they're Reese's. Yeah. They're like wrapped in foil, but like anyway, whatever.
Interesting.
They suck. Yeah, Reese's Hearts. They got it.
Your favorite.
Okay, so let's end just with some Valentine's facts because I love to teach you things.
All right.
You like some Valentine's facts? This is really just because I have one thing that I want to say at the end and I had to set it up somehow.
Spoiler alert.
Americans spend about $20 billion per year on Valentine's Day between gifts, events, parties, meals, etc. $20 billion every year.
You know what's sad? The majority of that's coming from the people who don't have it because they're just trying to impress somebody else.
Men spend on average $291 on Valentine's Day, while women spend about $100. Okay? Americans send 145 million Valentine's Day cards every year. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
In 2020, 27.6 million Americans bought Valentine's Day gifts for their dogs, and 17.1 million bought gifts for their cats.
I'm on board.
Okay. About 6 million couples get engaged every Valentine's Day. I already know how I feel about that. Don't take away from the existing holiday.
Right, yeah. Don't taint it. That's stupid. Don't do that to any holiday.
No. The XOXO, or like the hugs and kisses, that came from the Middle Ages. Here comes the Christians again. The X used to represent the Christian cross, and people would use it to sign off their letters, I guess, to be like, hey, Jesus, or something. And then they would kiss the seal of their letters to show their oath to what? I don't know. I guess God. So letters started being referred to as being sealed with a kiss from the X and the kiss. I don't know where the fuck the O came from, but that's where the X came from. I don't know who they're devoting their oath to by kissing their letter. That doesn't make any sense to me, but you know, whatever. I'm not a middle-aged Christian, so who knows?
Is it the letter like it's for their wife or their other half?
It just says letters in general. It didn't specify. It didn't say like love letters or anything. It just said letters. So.
Well, I mean that makes sense from like a love letter thing, like,
right? Yeah.
Like girls like spraying their perfume or whatever.
Okay.
Kind of like reminiscent of that, like the beginning of that.
Fair. Okay. Fair. But where did the O come from? I could not find for the life of me where the fuck the O came from.
The O face.
Maybe. Two different states became states on Valentine's Day. Oregon became a state on February 14th, 1859, and Alaska became a state on February 14th in 1912. Weird
Cool.
coinky dink. Despite all the hype and money spent on Valentine's Day.
You know what that really means?
What?
It means it's not a real holiday. They wouldn't have done it. That tells you it's commercialization only.
Yes. Despite all the hype and money spent on Valentine's Day, only 1% of Americans surveyed say it's their favorite holiday. So
Right.
that feeds right into what you were saying.
Yep.
People just do shit because that's what they want to do. This would have been a better ending than the one that I have because it ties everything together. But my last fast fact about Valentine's Day is that finally my favorite person on Earth was born on February 14th, 1946. Happy birthday, Mom.
There it is.
There it is. And
Happy birthday.
have a great Valentine's Day, everybody. If you're spending your day listening to our podcast, I am so sorry for you, but thanks anyway.
On Thick Ice is created, hosted, and produced by Emily and John Shacklet.
To join the conversation, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at OnThickIcePod, email us at onthickIcepod@gmail.com, or call our hotline 415-494-7275. Subscribe to On Thick Ice wherever you get your podcasts.